What's up? Welcome to episode 29. Sorry, 29. Like I said, fuck it up every time. Grab yourself a little refreshment. Let's get this started.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here with my boy David Music.
What up?
How you doing?
I'm doing a lot better, especially I had Hayden make me a cup of coffee today, his own special way, and let me tell you, shit's good.
Special sauce.
Good.
Special sauce.
Man, so happy to be here.
So, let's talk about some intro. Conor versus Sean O'Malley. Could it happen?
It could. I think it could happen. But I think everything's gonna have to line up perfectly for it.
Yeah.
I think Conor's gonna have to beat.
Michael.
He's gonna have to beat Michael Chandler, and then also Sugar Sean's gonna have to go ahead and beat what's his name? Marab. He's gonna have to beat Marab.
Yeah.
And I think after that, I think they'll find a weight class. Would they say 55?
Yeah.
I
don't know if Conor's making 55 though. I don't think he's making 55, bro.
Then after that, Conor would definitely. I mean, has he even said anything? Has he replied to that?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right,
that's a massive fight though.
That's a massive fight, and that's a big cut for him. I think
mean,
he's just getting to the point where there's no way he's gonna cut that.
I don't think so either. There's no way though. Like, I don't. I mean, I don't even see him. What this fight's gonna be at 170, right?
The one he's fighting right now,
Michael
170.
Chandler?
Yep.
I don't see him making anything below 170.
That's gonna be a hard enough cut already.
Yeah.
Especially how big he got since he hasn't been fighting.
Because like, I haven't seen Roadhouse. Have you seen Roadhouse?
No.
I want to watch it.
No. I was supposed to watch it actually,
but
one time.
It like
passed out.
It just. I mean, he just looks massive, like massive. I don't see him making that weight. I don't know.
He'd have to lose a lot of muscle that he has to do that.
Yeah.
And another thing is it's just like, in Sugar's eyes, that's the fight of the century. And in Conor's eye, he knows that's the fight for Sugar of the century. It's not the fight for him.
Yeah.
It's not the fight for him. I don't
Dude's
think.
got so much money, it doesn't even matter at that point. You know. Yeah, that would be a crazy thing, though. I mean,
what's he gonna gain going down to 155? And I'm just saying, if he beats him, he beats Sugar Sean. What's he gonna gain from that? I don't think he's gonna gain much from that.
Nothing. I mean, now it's almost like he's such a legend that like he's now like kind of tarnishing his legacy because, dude, he fights Sean O'Malley like a 35er.
35er,
Like,
bump up 2 weight classes.
Yeah, like okay. Now it's like I don't see that. I don't see it happening. If I'm Conor, I'm not doing that. It'd be. I mean, they'd make bread though. They would make so much money.
They'd make a lot of money from that fight.
But I mean,
if I was Conor as well,
I'm not
in his situation. There's no. I mean, if it's a younger Conor McGregor, of course, I think he would do that.
Yeah.
But now, no way. I don't think he would.
I mean, he's already on his way to being a billionaire. I mean,
is he?
He's got to be close. He's got to be close.
Maybe. I honestly don't know what his financial is. I know he got a lot of money, but I've never looked into it enough.
I mean, I think he sold. Let's see, I've looked this up so many times. This should be like, I should know this. I think it was like $400 million.
His net worth?
No, like how much he sold Proper 12 for.
Oh, he sold it?
Yeah.
I didn't even know he sold the company.
Yeah, he doesn't own it anymore.
Does he rep it though? He still reps it, right? That's what I thought. You know what crazy thing? I've never had a sip of Proper 12. Not yet.
Me either.
Oh, that's not even open.
Nope.
You haven't even did it yet.
He sold it for $600 million.
$600 million.
He probably didn't make all of that, but still, that's so crazy. $600 million.
Yeah, man. I don't even know how many partners he's in that.
Glasses.
Give me the shades. Let's go.
I forgot.
Don't worry, guys.
We got them on now. It's cool.
It was supposed to happen like this.
Did you see Colby Covington said something about he's open to fighting Bilal or Khamzat.
Yeah, I did see that, and I think he better go with how do you say his name, Malah? Or is it Bala?
Bilal, I don't know.
Okay.
I think it's Bilal.
Okay.
I don't know.
Bala. I think he'd have a better chance going against Bala. I don't know much about Bala. I haven't watched a lot of him fight.
Me either.
So
I heard he's super boring.
Yeah.
I heard. Yeah, I haven't. I think I've seen him fight like one time.
Yeah, but if he fought Cosmo, dude, I mean Ian Gary, that's who it is, right? Ian Gary.
It was Ian Gary's calling him out, but he was saying he would fight Khamzat or Bilal. I think Bilal is obviously
the one to go to.
Yeah.
Oh my god, if he fought Ian Gary would destroy him.
That might almost be worse than Leon Edwards, because Leon Edwards is one of the best strikers in the UFC, but Ian Gary is like, his striking is scary. Like, that dude's nasty.
Ian's making his way up there. Yeah.
Yeah.
He has a lot of fights to fight too. I think he would destroy Colby.
But no way Colby's fighting Khamzat, because Khamzat's a 185er and Colby's a small 70-pound, like 170er. Like, he's small.
And I mean, dude, like the last fights he came out to, he's not shown any like improvements. He seems he keeps the same game plan every fight.
Well, and I guess they did say that he like he had a broken foot in that last fight.
Oh shit.
Against Leon. I mean, that's not an excuse, but still, like.
Yeah. I mean, he took the fight. The fight. That's just how it works.
I mean, if you're hurt, back out. If not, I mean, don't make an excuse for it. Like.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you see Derrick Lewis? Did you see that?
Oh yeah, yeah. We watched it last night.
That was so funny.
It was good though. Derrick Lewis hits like a freaking truck, man.
Dude, you could hear it.
Yeah,
it was
dude.
It sounded like a thud. Dude, that was nuts.
You could hear it, and you could just see the power behind his punches, dude. Because he comes right into it, dude. And that's a lot of weight.
Yes. Oh,
that's a lot of weight in those punches.
That was a good fight night.
Oh, it was a good fight. There was a lot of really good fights.
I'm mad
the hometown kid. Well, not kid. He's like 30 actually. The hometown guy who fought last night.
Oh, Joaquin Buckley.
Yeah, Buckley, dude. He really went out there and made a statement.
He like showed up like That's so tough. I mean, that dude was 6'5",
and he's good. He's good
striker.
Well, that was Buckley's first fight in the UFC, right?
No. He's fought a lot in the UFC. He called out Conor though.
Oh, dude. Oh, let's talk about his after speech. That after speech was like the craziest one ever, dude.
I know, Miko. He kept saying
he was like talking shit on Ryan Garcia. He was talking shit. He called out Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
Like he was just going on. He was going on and on about it. Did you see how he was holding back Bisping?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, Bisping looked pissed too.
Yeah.
He had his arm like posted up like this, just talking.
Well, it was a good call out, like in my opinion. I mean, everyone like stopped calling out Conor, but you have to realize like you're a fighter, you don't make that much money. Number one, especially if you're like if you're a champ, you're gonna make good money. If you're a big name, like
that's how you market yourself.
Yeah, you're gonna make good money.
Yeah, just like in the fight game, from where you get paid. I mean, it just depends how you finance it and everything.
So, if I'm gonna get paid $300, like let's say your biggest payday is $100,000, you fight Conor, you're gonna make $300,000. Like, why the fuck wouldn't you do that? Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't you call him out?
Yeah, no, especially if you think you can beat him.
Yeah,
and dang, man, I just see him Buckley do that.
Yeah,
I think.
Have you seen his like highlight reel knockout? Dude, you have to watch that.
Is that spinning back?
That was the one where he threw the kick,
and
the dude caught it, and he jumped in the air. And
so that's him. Okay, yeah. All right, I saw that, and that was nuts. Okay,
yeah, that was probably the craziest knockout I've ever seen. I think.
Yeah, dude, that thing I was like, damn, like that. You don't see that a lot. You don't see knockouts like that a lot.
It's so crazy. Like, I don't know. I mean, I think they said that it was like one of only 4 or 5 spinning back kick finishes in the UFC, which is nuts.
He felt that shit. He didn't even have to think about it. He just felt it and he went with it.
Which is so crazy because I think a lot of people don't talk about it. It's like almost being able to flow in there and just doing things. You know what I mean? Like that is so hard. Yeah, that's so hard to do. Like, but yeah. There was also, did you see that boxing announcer? So there was this boxing announcer. He like called the fight, like he called the decision, said this one girl won. 10 minutes had passed. They'd celebrated for like 10 minutes. They called everyone back in and then realized that he made the wrong announcement. He announced that the wrong girl won. And they had to redo the whole thing.
This was a boxing bout?
Yeah. It was some like women. I don't know who it was.
Was it last night?
Or it might have been.
Was it last night?
I don't know.
Because I think there was boxing matches right after the UFC fights last night. I think so.
Yeah, because Lomachenko fought last night.
How do you do?
I think he knocked the dude out.
Of course.
Yeah,
I just love Lomachenko. He's a goat.
Yeah, he is.
Backtrack to the UFC fight again. I just thought of it. Do you remember who it was that was fighting? That he had him in it was a Darce, and he didn't even have the choke all the way in, and the guy was not like choking out or anything, and it looked like he went up to post on his hip, and he like tapped the guy's back, and the ref called it right there.
I didn't see that fight, but I saw that.
Dude.
Chase Hooper.
Dude, you got to put like a little clip in the video right here of that fight of like slow motion of where he tapped, dude. Because he had the Darce locked up, but it wasn't tight at all. It was like this. Like he had his arm around him like this, and his neck was up like this, and he was perfectly breathing, man. It was a crazy call.
Chase Hooper, I guess they said that they scored that fight 20-16.
Oh, he was don't get me wrong. Chase was beating his ass.
10-8, 10-8. 2 10-8s is crazy.
Chase was beating his ass, dude. Yeah, you see that big old welt on his head after the fight? That was a big elbow. He threw a bow right on top of his head.
Those things, dude, elbows are scary.
Yeah.
those things are scary.
Hey, man, that's why we got to give them out.
Yeah.
That's why we got to give them out 20 times.
Yeah.
20 times more than they can.
Yeah, for sure. But anyway, on the more important things, you just announced a fight against Ryan Burgos for Cage Fury June 14th.
Yep.
What do you think about that matchup?
Oh man, it's a good matchup. He's gonna be a good opponent to fight. I'm very excited for this matchup, and it looks really good on paper as well.
Yeah.
For when I beat him.
Yeah. Is there anything like specific you think that he's really good at?
Yeah, he did a lot of Muay Thai stuff.
Did
he? Yeah, he looks like he dabbles in like grappling and everything. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's probably the top two things.
Yeah.
And he hasn't fought anyone either. They're all like OOs.
Really?
Yeah, all debuts.
I think I looked at his record and
it was 3-0 amateur and 1-0 as a pro right now.
Which is crazy. How does because he doesn't fight no.
No, they're looking
different states have different rules. They're so stupid. That's so dumb.
Hey man, whatever.
I think it's dumb because like one state you don't even have to be an amateur. You can literally turn pro immediately. It's like why?
Oh yeah, I think Mississippi is like that. It's like you can have no fights and turn pro.
That's so dumb. Like
it's dumb, but it's not dumb. It's like it's dumb for the person who's deciding to go pro if they know that they're not ready for it.
Yeah, that's
like it's still their choice if they want to do it or not.
I mean, I get that, but I feel like there should be like one governing commission to where it's like, okay, these are the rules for all 50 states. This is what it's going to be like. Because that's kind of how like one is over in like Asia and stuff, where they're kind of like, you know, these are the rules. Like you can knee a downed opponent, like all that stuff.
And
like
it's all laid out for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Because, I mean, like, you fight in Ohio, you fight your whole amateur career in Ohio, you turn pro, you're getting kicked in the head now. And it's like, holy shit. Like,
but look at this, though. Imagine, let's put a wrestling example.
Mm-hmm.
So you just got done wrestling for college and you were number one in nationals, right? And you want to be a fighter. And you got to go be an amateur and no one will take your fight. So you got to get fast-tracked because you're already at a level where you can compete with pros and fighting.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the way I look at it. That's why it's like it's your coach's choice. It's the fighter's choice if they want to fast track to pro like that.
That's a good. I guess I didn't really think about that. That's a good point. Because I mean, there's like, who was it? I don't know if you know who Bryce Meredith is, but he was like a 4-time, even like Bo Nickel.
Yeah, Bo Nickel.
Like,
yeah,
I don't think he had an amateur career at all.
Yeah, I don't think he did. I think he went straight into it.
I'm going to look. Because, I guess I got to go to Tapology. But, yeah, that's actually a very good point. Because, I mean, you got a dude who's like Bo Nickel, who's, one of the best wrestlers in
You
the
don't want
history
to
of...
fight that motherfucker as an amateur.
No. Like, imagine no offense to anybody at our gym, but, like, or any gym. I mean, imagine an amateur walking in there. They've had one amateur fight. It's like, hey, dude, you're fighting Bo Nickel.
Oh, okay, bro.
It's like, what do you mean?
Yeah. I mean, there would probably be opponents, but it'd be tough to find consistently. Especially, like, for example, here in Ohio, you gotta have 5 amateur fights to turn pro.
Yeah, he had 2 amateur fights. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I didn't think if he did have some, it wouldn't have been much.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of... It makes sense. And Bryce Meredith didn't have any. So...
Bryce Meredith.
He was a 4-time MMA, 4-time NCAA, like, qualifier, I think.
Oh, shit. Yeah, exactly. Wrestling.
I believe he went to Wyoming. Yeah. So he was a really good wrestler, obviously, and yeah. So he's 6-0 right now. I think he fights in Bellator or PFL.
Yeah, they're like 1 now, right? Like that's official. Like they're 1.
Yeah, they're both 1. Yeah.
So is there any more Bellator?
I don't think so. It's all PFL.
Gone. After that championship fight that they did.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah. Because they did what they do. They did like a mix-over or like a crossover kind of thing.
The champions from Bellator against the champions of PFL.
Yeah.
I always thought of fights like that, like, but I always put UFC in it, like UFC champs versus Bellator champs.
I think that needs to be a thing. That really needs to be a thing.
Especially now at PFL. I don't think Dana would ever do that, though.
No way.
Imagine his champs losing, bro.
Yeah.
Wouldn't happen.
Which I don't... Yeah. I mean, which can happen. I think...
I mean, like, he wouldn't make it happen. Like, he wouldn't let that happen.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Like, I don't know.
The only way that can possibly happen is if the PFL champ decides he wants to take a contract with UFC. Then that's the only way technically a PFL fighter could get.
Yeah.
The champions could fight, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Which, it's kind of like... I don't know. I think this is going to be... It's going to be good for MMA because I think at a certain point it's going to be like there's so much money involved in MMA that you're going to have to pay these people.
Oh, yeah.
And you might not have to pay like which that makes sense to me. Like you're not paying the lower end people because it's like they're not making any money. Like they're on the early prelims. Yeah, I mean they're getting paid what 10-10, 12-12 depending.
Yeah, probably around.
So like yeah, that makes sense to pay them that kind of money.
Or 5-5 actually, I think.
Yeah, because I think that's the Contender Series contract is 5-5.
I think so, yeah.
And I think the first contract is like 10-10. Anyway, but it's like it makes sense like paying those people that kind of money because they're not bringing in any revenue at all. So, but like you start getting to top 15. It's like okay, these people need to get paid because I mean you're in the top 15 in the world at that weight class. You need to be able to train full time. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like that's, but
especially when you get top 10. And you're fighting for over 100K a fight, even 50K. But I don't even think that's a thing. I think they don't even fight for 50K at that point. Top 10.
I think it depends. Like once you get to there, it probably depends on like your negotiations with the UFC.
Yeah.
But like if you're a big time name, like Sean O'Malley before he was even the champ was a huge name.
Yeah.
And it's like him. Who else? Conor.
Everybody getting crazy offers, huh?
And so, like, yeah, like, you're able to renegotiate your contract, be like, yeah, I want this amount, or I want these pay-per-view points, or you can start negotiating because you have leverage then at that point. That's, like, a whole different science. Like, you have to be good at that. I think managers, like,
managing, like making your contracts, or
yeah, like when you go in, because I think like after each fight they kind of negotiate, like, hey, you know, do we want to renegotiate the contract? Do we want to just leave it, or whatever? You kind of have to be good at that.
That's very important, man. I think it's important too to have a manager or someone in your corner. That's super diligent with going over contracts and everything.
But I think also you kind of have to like have a personal relationship with. I don't know. It's hard. I guess I could be wrong. I don't know. But like, all I've heard is like managers kind of fucking people over. That's all I've heard. That's all I've heard. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean that's just like, you know, friends fuck people over. Everyone fucks someone over.
Yeah.
So it's like, You just gotta make sure. You gotta make sure that you guys are good. Like you gotta know who's on your side and who's not.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good point. What, like, from your perspective, what is it like chasing the MMA dream?
It's fucking crazy.
It's crazy.
It's literally crazy as fuck.
It is. It is like one of the crazy. There's so many ups and downs. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's just I don't know.
There's a lot of ups and downs, but you always got to stay up though, even when you're down, no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, from my perspective, it's a little different. Like, you're fully immersed in it. Like, it's your life, which I wish, like, if I had to redo it over, I mean, I would definitely do that. But like I always say, I think you go through things to kind of form who you are so you can be the person you're supposed to be. Yeah. In the moments you're supposed to be that person.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
That goes deep too.
Yeah, like. Yeah. But it's weird for me. It's hard for me. I gotta balance so much shit. It's like crazy.
Yeah.
But
it's like more responsibilities you have, especially financial responsibilities you have. You have to. There's a point where you can't just forget about them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta accept it.
Yeah.
And do what you gotta do.
Right.
To take care of your life, basically. I mean, you're still alive and still living. You got things to take care of.
Yeah. I know my girlfriend, or technically my fiance, sent me a video the other day. It said, like, you'll never miss what's, like, meant for you. Like, what's meant for you is, like, you'll never miss that, like, opportunity.
Because it's always evolving.
Because it's meant for you. So, like, you're, like, there's no way. I don't know. But, yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go a little deep here, but like with all of our experiences in life, our mind, like our neuroscience or whatever the hell is going on, is just evolving what's happening in our life right in front of us right now.
Yeah.
So as that happens, it's like we get used to what happens with things, and we develop our own way to live life. Basically, like everyone has their own pattern in life.
Which,
based on results that happen in their own life.
Yeah, and that makes sense. Like, every person has their own specific experiences, and each experience is gonna, like, form and, like, kind of mold that person in a different way. Because, like, two people can go through the same exact experience. It doesn't mean they're gonna come out the same.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of like the same thing with, like, raising kids. Like, you can have two kids that come from the same household, but, like, they're not going to turn out the same
because their brains are different.
Yeah. And that's like the whole like nature versus nurture argument. It's like, well, it's both.
Because you know what I mean? We might be able to look at the same thing, right? But our perception is going to be totally different.
Right. And that goes into like conditioning, like how you were conditioned as a kid, how you were conditioned as like a young adult, like how your parents conditioned you, the environments you were in, like all that stuff kind of affects how.
That's honestly though, that's what makes every single body on this earth, every single human special in their own way, is because they have a different outlook on everything.
Yeah, that's true.
Now it can be bad too though. There can be a lot of bad aspects that make a bad person.
True. Yeah.
But still special in their own way.
Yeah. I don't know. I like MMA is quite literally the best thing that ever happened to me, or like fighting in general, because like I think I used to be pretty closed-minded, where it was like, no, this is the right way. And as soon as I started like fighting, it was completely different. It was like, no, I need to have an open mind. I need to like, even if someone comes in that's super green, I mean, they could teach me a certain technique, and I'm like, oh shit, like, I can use that. Like, it doesn't matter how intelligent you are, or how, really anything. It doesn't matter how experienced you are. You can be a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and some white belt comes in, and he does a process a different way, and it's like, holy shit, I've been doing this for 20 years, and I've never seen anybody do it that way.
Maybe he just looked at a video real quick and decided, oh, okay, I'll go ahead and try this at practice, and he tries it, and it works, and the black belt's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, it's just...
It's just little things, yeah, man. It's just, but you gotta have an open mind, though, to realize that.
Right.
So.
And I think, like, fighting has really helped me do that, like... And it's allowed me to be myself. I feel like, I don't know, fighting is literally, I tell people all the time, it's like, it's super primal, because if that ref's not in there, you could die. Like, if that ref's not in there, you're, like, dude's on top of you beating your face in, like, you're gonna die.
Like, realistically, if this was something that happened outside of the cage, and there's someone on you, and he's just beating you up, and he wanted to do it, yeah, You could do it.
Yeah.
You could do it.
And so like that, so it kind of like brings out like a certain aspect of you that kind of, I don't know, it's just hard to explain unless you
don't want to die in there, so you go in there like you could die.
Yeah. But like it that kind of translates to like all the aspects of your life too, though. It's like, okay, I can be me now. Like I can be me because I've been in those situations where it's like, oh, I could have died here. It kind of like humbles you to a point where it's like, I'm just gonna be myself. In a way. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yourself is the best.
Yeah.
Yourself is the best version of what you could put out in the world, whatever it is.
Yeah, I think it's Naval who says like something along the lines of, you know, you trying to imitate everybody else is like, you can never master anyone else but yourself.
Mm.
So like if you're being you, it's going to be easier to like master that, if that makes sense.
Can we master ourselves though?
I think so.
Can we master ourselves?
I don't think you could truly master yourself. I think there's always something to improve.
Yeah, exactly. No matter, there's going to be something new.
Yeah.
There's going to be something new.
But I think it's a good road to venture down. You know
Definitely
what I mean?
a good road, yeah. It's basically kind of like you don't want to be stuck in worrying about what other people are thinking and how they're doing things.
Yeah.
You need to think about how you think of things and how can you, and if you do think about what other people think about, it's more of just communicating and getting other people's like little slivers of people's perception on what you want to learn.
Yeah.
What you're thinking about.
And I think that like translates to a lot of things. Like, you know, it's not easy to like start a podcast and, you know, basically put yourself out there. It's not easy to do things like, you know what I mean? Like, and everyone has that like, oh man, what are these people going to think of me?
It's big, dude.
What are these people? Yeah, it's just like, you just can't think like that. I try to tell people that like on the podcast all the time, like, just do what you want to do, no matter what anybody else says. Because at the end of the day, everyone's going to die. And you're going to be 80 years old sitting on your deathbed like, wow, I wish I would have done all these things, but I was worried about the opinion of all these people who have already died.
That shit scares the shit out of me, dude. I think that's cool that you said that, because I think of that when like moments like that happen, and you're doing something fucking crazy and you're like, what the fuck? What are these people thinking? I'm fucking stupid or something. You just gotta think like that. Like, that's perfect. And
kind of like, usually those like turn out to be the best memories. Yeah. If you're doing something stupid and like all these people are looking at you and you're kind of like laughing like, damn, all these people are looking at me, and it's like 10 years later you're gonna look at that like, dude, remember when I was doing that dumb shit? And like all these, like, those usually turn out, I don't know.
And usually, you get to a point it's just like you do stuff like that and you don't even think about what they thought about, or, man, what if? That's just gone. You're just being authentic. You're being yourself.
Yeah. It's kind of like when if you watch those old like vlog videos of people, they're all kind of like nervous, like vlogging themselves walking through people, and then years down the line they don't even care. They're just
doing it because they just keep camera. They do it and do it and do it.
It's like that thing they talk about that, you know, try to get as much rejection as possible. There's like a challenge where they do, I forget, I heard it on the Modern Wisdom podcast, and they were talking about like going to a coffee shop, like go to Starbucks and be like, you know, hey, can I get this coffee for free? Like, obviously they're going to tell you no. And so it's just like kind of getting over the fear of being told no, number one, and number two, like getting over the fear of like just saying stuff, like just asking, like conditioning. Yeah, kind of like conditioning yourself to be like, okay, this is not that bad. Like rejection is not that big.
Yeah, that's big. Yeah,
I think people are so scared to be like rejected that it's like, oh, I can't.
Especially nowadays. Nowadays, man. Especially
with social media, dude. Social media is crazy.
Social media is crazy. But you know what's crazier, though? The people behind it. Yeah. Because you gotta be able to realize that there's social media, then there's real life.
Yeah.
You gotta be able to live in real life and not just on social media. True. 'Cause social media, it's cool, it's fun. Everyone has how much they can have of it, or how much they can't have of it. It just depends on the person. But yeah, it's two separate things: real life and social media. Yeah, two different things.
When Jordan Peterson always talks about like, you're only seeing, and I mean other people talk about it too, but I just remember him referencing it. Like,
I like Jordan Peterson.
You're only seeing the marketable side of what they want you to see. like the marketable side of their life. That's all you see on social media. You don't see like the arguments they have with their wife, or the, they're coming home from work like hating their life. Like, you don't see that.
You don't see that. You don't see their bank account. You don't see
you don't see
anything. You don't see anything like that. You don't see the troubles they're going through.
Exactly.
Maybe, hey, you might not even see all the good things either.
Yeah.
Because they might not put it all out there.
Yeah, so it's a kind of an illusion that I think people are.
But knowing that though, that's great because
True.
Because you can look at someone. Maybe you find someone on there and you're looking at their page. What are you really looking for? So
True.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah, so it's a good note. Like, this might not be the whole story.
Right, you get like a dabble of what they're interested in. That's
true.
That's more what it is and what they're about.
Yeah, I know you like to read. How much do you normally read?
I haven't been reading.
You haven't?
No, I got like my bookshelf's full. I've literally read every single book on there, and I haven't got a new book.
Really?
I love reading. I do like reading. I think it's very valuable. I only read self-development books, finance books, business books. I've only read one series of that was like fiction. It was so good. It was the Divergent series. That was in like 8th grade, and I never read a book like that again.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think it's great to read, but every time I read, I get sucked into it, man. I get sucked into it, and I am able to take the lessons out of books and everything, but I'm taking in so much information because I'm just fucking reading all the time. Yeah. And it just kind of comes I don't know, like it's there, but I'm like, okay, but now I got to go do these things. So it's like I already got, when I read those books, I got what I needed out of them, and now I'm putting them in play in real life. Mm-hmm. And until I have that feeling of, okay, I need to get something new. I need more information coming into me, and then I'll go and get a new book and read it.
That's really smart, actually, because like, you see, I mean, you can read all the books you want, but if you don't apply any of the knowledge that you're learning to your life, it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? Like,
if you're reading 4 books in a month, dude, okay, good. Now make sure you're going out and doing that.
Right.
Make sure you're going out and doing that.
Yeah.
That's super important, dude, or you're just wasting time reading those books.
That's really, that's a good, a lot of people don't think about it like that. A lot of people are just, I read 25 books this year. You may retain some of that information, but it's like, are you really applying this to your life? Are you doing what these books are saying?
Dude, especially if you're reading like self-development books, like finance books, the things you learn in there, they take years sometimes. They take years to master. They take time. It doesn't have to be years, but like it takes time to actually develop what you learn.
Yeah.
So I don't see a point of continuing to try to get more information. It's kind of like, what's that word where you have to do something, but you're not doing it.
Yeah,
you're doing other things to kind of like forget about it. Like you just
kind of like procrastinating.
So you just keep reading, trying to find an easier way. That's kind of like.
Yeah, that's smart. I guess I've never thought of it like that. That's true.
And some people might not realize that either. Yeah. That okay, maybe I'm searching for an easier way. I think it's best just to learn what you can and go use it.
Like psychologically, they can't consciously realize that, but that's what they're doing. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Or they have like a problem and they're like, oh, I need to just keep reading. This will fix my problem.
And that's a huge thing. If that's another thing, I forget who I watched who said this, but who it was. They were saying, stop whatever you're doing right now and think about what problem do you have right now. Okay, you find that problem. All right, go find a book that will solve that problem. Mm-hmm. Read that book, solve your problem. There you go. So if you ever have a problem, boom, go find a book that's going to solve your problem and then read it. Yeah.
Well, and like I used to hate reading. I was like, no, it's stupid. Like my mom, my stepdad, everyone was like, you should just read. Like, you'll learn.
Read what?
yeah. But then, I mean, Kayla was like, why don't you like reading? I was like, I don't know. I just hate it. Like, I feel like I have to be productive and be sitting down reading words. And then, like, as I started to mature, I was like, no. So I started reading. And, like, that was probably the best habit I ever started was reading. Because it's like, you go through your whole, I've said this before, but you go through your whole life. You're in your own head. Like, you're you, right? Like, you're only listening. Like, if you don't, like, what's the word I'm looking for? You don't like introduce any other perspectives to your own brain. You're gonna be so closed-minded that it's like you think that you're always right. But now if you're like reading books that are introducing different perspectives and makes you think like, oh, maybe the way I think about this isn't the correct way to think about this. Maybe this is. So it opens your mind more. But if you don't read it, if you don't ever read or you don't ever listen to like differing opinions of yourself, it's like it just creates stupidity, honestly.
Yeah, books are like mentors.
Yeah.
Like whoever wrote that book is mentoring you. That's what's beautiful about books. It's like people from 100 years ago are dead. Like they can never be your mentor, like in person.
Mm-hmm.
But
God,
they left
yeah,
their book. They have writings for you that you can go and read. It's like they call it like standing on the shoulders of giants.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they call it because
yeah.
Because they're dead and they have a lot of knowledge to tell you, and so you're reading their books. So it's kind of like standing on their shoulders.
Yeah, I think this is making me want to write a book. I think I do want to write a book at some point in my life. That would be sick.
Oh, dude, I want to too, man.
Yeah.
I've thought about that. I thought about that a lot.
Yeah.
But I feel like for some, like, unless it's something that I know that I want to write about 100%, like right now, it's like, I know I can't write a book right now because I really don't have anything that I want to talk about that I can fully explain. I feel like I live a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I think, to be able to write a book, you kind of have to be an expert at your own life.
Yeah.
And if you're not, like...
Not really an expert at your own life, but you gotta have a definitive reason of why you're writing that book.
You gotta have some good wisdom, too. You have to be you have to have a lot of wisdom to be able to write a book. Because, if you're going to try to, help people, it's like, well, you got to be smart enough. Not necessarily smart enough, but have enough wisdom to, like, hey, all of these things you're going to, you're going to come into contact with most of these situations in your life, and you should approach it in this way,
Depending, though, bro, because, like, fuck, man, if we really wanted to, we could probably sit down and write a book about something.
True.
And put it out there. It might help someone, it might not.
Yeah, that's fair.
It just depends on how you're going to connect with whatever you're writing. If you feel like it's not time, it's not time. If it's time, it's time.
You know who Alex Ramosi is? He's been on the Modern Wisdom podcast.
Got black hair. Wears a nose patch.
Yes.
Yeah, I know he is.
Yeah, he was on the Modern Wisdom podcast. I think like 2, maybe 3 times, and he makes like a really good point where like at some point everyone's gonna die. Like how I referenced earlier, like you're gonna die at some point. Like you're gonna have to come into terms with that. And so if you're gonna die, it doesn't matter like how much. I'm not saying like go blow a bunch of money and be really stupid with money and like, but he was saying when he makes decisions, he's like, okay, what's going to make the craziest story? Because at the end of the day, it's like when you're 80 years old, you're not going to remember like, man, I was really broke. I ruined my life. It's like, no, and if you think like that, then that's probably how your life went. Mm-hmm. But if it's like, no, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make some crazy ass story.
Bro, that's literally how everything that stands out is weird, is crazy, is insane. Like that's everything that stands out.
Exactly. Like if you, I don't know. So the guy who owns Sonable, I think his name's Imran. Basically, he's a doctor. Like he was in medical school, and in his like last year when he was doing all of his like rotations and stuff. Doctors' rotations are stupid. Like they're basically slaves. Like they're working 14, 15, 16-hour day. It's so bad. Yeah, I could never. And so he was like getting up at 4 a.m. and kept asking himself like, and he had tried to start like a clothing business like while he was in school, but he just blew it off. And then he finally like, I'm not going to be a doctor. So he went through all that schooling. He's like, I'm not going to be a doctor, and then starts a clothing or a, fight gear business basically.
Which is a crazy turn.
Which is which is now like one of the biggest fight gear, companies in fighting at all. Like it's just crazy. Like some of those stories, like you said, like
that's man. And he probably never ever thought about once before that I'm gonna own the biggest fucking fighting.
And that's usually how it goes. Like it's always like you never expect how good it's gonna be. Like I don't know, but perspective is pretty much everything. Like, just even if something bad happens to you, this happened for a reason. We're gonna get through it, and it's gonna make me a better person. Like, always thinking like that, like you'll never be.
Yeah, just like you said earlier, like you gotta keep conditioning yourself, and to add on to it, it's like you gotta keep conditioning yourself through the goods and through the bad, because the goods are great, right? But that doesn't mean you gotta. Actually, I just saw something. Fuck, I did just see something today. It said when you have that really high of something good, that good feeling, the high of a good feeling, and the high of the worst feeling ever that you feel, there's always a lesson to be learned there. So you always gotta stop and analyze it. Analyze yourself. You're having you're up here. You're feeling great. Okay, we all want to feel like that all the time. That'd be fucking awesome. Yeah, it's just not true. There's always a lesson to be learned, no matter where you are, down here or up here. Yeah, and it's really good to sit back and analyze and find a lesson that you can learn out of how you're feeling right now.
Right, and it's kind of like that. I mean, that's a beautiful example. Like that's pretty much how everyone should approach their life, realistically. And I mean, without the negatives, like you always have to have opposites.
Yeah,
like,
it's an ongoing battle, man.
Yeah,
it's
well, like if there's no negatives, there's no positives. You're just gonna feel that way the whole time. So it's like you don't know what's good feels like.
Yeah, it's just not possible. It's just not.
And so
real.
Yeah, that and like Kobe Bryant, he always talks about like staying even keeled. Like the thing that always comes to my mind is I think they won. I think they were up 2-0 in the series, and one of the media people were like, "You're not happy?" And he's like, "What the fuck is there to be happy about? We're up 2-0. It doesn't matter. Like, is the job over? Like, is it finished? Like, did we win the series? No. What do you mean? No. What is there to be happy about? Like."
Yeah, and that's what creates comfortability.
Yes, like, oh yeah, we're comfortable. We're up 2-0. Fuck it. Like, let's just cut. Like, then that's how you lose 4-2. That's how that other team goes on a 4-win. Like,
that's what happens every game you see like that, man. And everything.
Yes,
that's even in fighting.
That dude. Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, I'm busting this dude up. I'm just gonna chill for the next round.
And you get caught. Because you did not have everything guarded up. You weren't where you're supposed to be.
You were just being lackadaisical, just messing. Yeah, no. But so if you had 3 books to give to, like, let's say an 18-year-old who just graduated high school, what would it be? 3.
All right. 2 of them from Napoleon Hill.
Okay.
Okay. First one. Outwitting the Devil would be the first one. That would be the very first book I would give anyone. You said to a kid?
The 18-year-old kid.
18-year-old, 100%. I'd give him Outwitting the Devil.
Outwitting?
Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. Such a great book. It's about your mind and life and money.
I might have to read that, yeah.
Brother, it's a great book. I think you should.
Okay.
And my second one would be Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. That's a great book as well. And my third book, man. That's a tough one. Third book.
We can just keep those 2.
Wow.
We can keep those 2.
Hold up.
Those are 2 good ones.
Those are good ones. We'll go back to it. We'll go back to it.
All right.
Don't forget.
I'll say mine is definitely the number 1 by far is got to be The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle.
I've heard of that, yeah.
It's basically tells you that, like, nothing exists outside of this moment. So everything else is an illusion because whatever happened an hour ago doesn't exist anymore, and whatever is going to happen in 20 minutes doesn't exist right now. So yes. you have to think about right now, and you have to choose happiness right now because everyone always talks about, oh, if I win a world title, I'll be happy. It's like, okay, then you win that world title. Humans are not meant to, like,
stop.
achieve a goal. Yeah, no, humans are meant for the journey. That's why everyone says, like, enjoy the process, enjoy the journey. So it kind of talks about that. That one I would give to, I think every single person in the world should read that book. The second one, yeah, it's a lot harder than I thought it was.
Yeah, it is.
The second one is probably Mastery by Robert Greene. I haven't finished the whole book, but it is essentially talking about finding what you're truly passionate about, because you'll never master anything that you're not passionate about. Like Albert Einstein, he was a genius, but he was only a genius because he was passionate about what he was studying. Mm-hmm. If he would have been studying, like, architect or something, or if he would have tried to be an architect, it wouldn't have worked because he didn't enjoy that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So finding your true passion and then the process of becoming a master at that, I think that, everyone should read that.
Yeah, that sounds like a really good book. Yeah.
That one, and then shit, my bookshelf's over there. Turn around. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Babe, I tried keeping my bookshelf right here. But...
Yeah, I know. What am I? I heard the Jordan Peterson, like, I think it's called 12 Rules of Life.
Mm-hmm.
I've never read that. I need to read that.
I didn't finish it. It's a big book, dude.
Is it? I heard book. It's pretty dry.
And there's a lot of it's dry, but there is a lot of knowledge to get out of it. Yeah.
What's another book that I read that was really good? I want to get up and look now, but I don't know.
I know. As soon as I look at the books, I'll be like, oh, of course, yeah. Like, I know what it is.
But those two for sure, like, those are really good, I think. But yeah. I'd put those 4 books on your Christmas list right now if you're watching this.
Put them on there and get them ASAP. Don't even wait till Christmas. Get yourself an early Christmas present this year and love yourself.
Exactly.
And read those motherfucking books.
Yes, sir.
And then send a picture after you read them that you read them. Yes. And then name 3 things that you learned from that book.
Book report by Monday.
Book report by Monday.
But
don't be late.
Yeah. I don't know. Like we were talking about, books are such a great, like, source of information from people who, you probably will never meet. Mm-hmm. And if you do meet them, well, you'll probably never meet them. But, like, it's like you were saying, it allows them to be mentors to you without, some are dead, some are...
The way I look at it, if you do meet someone that you read a book of, I think it's just going to be like us talking. Like, it's just another human, you know what I mean?
Yep.
You just have a different type of respect level for them.
Yep. The other one I think that's really good, I just remembered, it's called, like, Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday. It basically talks about, like, you're going to go through shit in your life. Accept that as part of the process and use that to grow as a person. Mm-hmm. Like, kind of like... Okay, yeah, this sucks.
Just being able to accept everything that's coming at you, because there is no stopping it, because you can't.
Yeah, no,
it's impossible.
But do you have any type of, like, morning routine or anything get you ready for training?
I try to throw my morning routines out the window for real.
Really?
I mean, don't get me wrong. Coffee every morning though. Gotta have coffee. That's if you want to count that, we'll count that. But no, man, I used to like routines, but I realized that routines were kind of like, they were distracting me from what I really was trying to get to. It just felt like it was making things take longer. So I had to throw them out. Because basically routines made me feel comfortable after doing them. I was like, after I did my routine or whatever, I felt good. Okay, I got that done. Now, if something else come up, it wasn't as important because it's not a part of the routine. So I think you just gotta wake up and go do what the fuck you said you're gonna go do yesterday.
Yeah, yeah. Do you have any other types of routines? Like, do you stretch like a normal time? You don't have any routines?
I just stretch at practice. I just do like when I'm in practice and everything. I stretch, do all that. Routine wise, the only thing I got on routine really is
coffee
and making money.
That's fair.
That's what you gotta do.
That's fair.
Coffee, making money, man.
Yeah, I do definitely see that like aspect of it. I think, like, I know Connor says, I don't know if he says anything about routines, but kind of like the superstition, like, damn, dude, I didn't do my morning routine today. My day's fucked.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's
It
a
kind
big
of
one,
like
ain't it?
gets like a mental crutch. I think it's good to have routines, but I think every once in a while you need to kind of like, I'm not doing that routine today. Like I'm gonna just blow this routine off, or I'm gonna mess it up or something. Just kind of like, especially as fighters, like I think you have to have good routines, but even as a fighter, it's like,
Well, like yeah, okay, I have routines, but they're not like set up. Like my normal day is wake up, I practice 3 times a day. You can consider that a routine, but
True.
but that's also doing what I have to do, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
know it's there.
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
change the routine.
that's fair.
So-
Yeah.
Maybe I don't even have time for a routine. I don't even know.
Dude, training 3 times a day is crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
I train on my own a lot, so I'll go to practice. Just because I'm not at practice doesn't mean I'm not training. Usually what I'll do is I'll get up in the morning, I'll run. I mean, I'm still training, and then I'll go to practice, and then after practice I'll come home and I'll hit the heavy bag, or I'll lift, or I'll run again, or whatever. Like,
Oh, brother, there's a million ways to be successful,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
That's a big thing too. Is it's great to have blueprints of how other people made it,
yeah,
but those people made it because they decided they wanted to make it, right? So
yeah.
so we can all become successful in our own way. That's just how it is.
And those blueprints worked for them, and it might not work for you.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like,
exactly.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. And I think like a lot of people look at other people and they're always like, I got to do it exactly like that. I kind of do that sometimes too. Like,
I used to kind of be like that. What I do now is this is actually, I think this is great for everyone, because we're all our own person. If you find someone that you like what they do or how they do something, get whatever that you like from them, take that from them, and use it in your own life.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a good idea to start trying to do every single thing that person does.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
because you can get a piece of everything from everyone.
yeah.
And put
I
it in your
think
own
that's-
life. And I feel like that builds you up stronger because you're say I'm taking a big trait from you, okay? And I'm making that into my life. Now there's someone else. I'm taking that trait and making it into my life.
Right.
That's just going to build me up higher.
Right. Yeah, that's true. And I think that's really what you have to do.
Yeah.
Regardless, I mean, if you want to improve, you're going to have to do that. And if you're just copying what other people are doing, then it's just
It's
not
no
going to
bueno.
work. You know
It's
what I
no
mean?
bueno.
Yeah, no
Because you're not
bueno.
them. You're not them.
Exactly. Yeah. What is one thing that you want to improve this year? I mean, it could be fighting, health, like self-development, relationships, whatever. It could be anything.
I think I'm figuring that out every day. I think about that stuff
Mhm.
every day. But I don't look at it as like I need to improve this one thing this year. I just wake up, bro, and I'm just like I have a million things in my head. So if one thing pops up, I need to fix this, bro. I'm on that shit. I
Yeah.
am on that shit. Whatever it
Yeah.
is, I'm like I need to do it now. I don't know if it's like my ADHD or what it is, but I just gotta get taken care of now. Or I'm gonna go crazy. So
And that's fair, yeah.
I see that stuff happen all the time because I don't like repetition, man. Like letting something that's not good for me keep happening, keep going. So I tackle that as soon as it pops up.
And that's I struggle with that. Like, if something pops up, like, fuck, I don't want to do that. I just put it off.
We just talked about this.
Yep,
No,
we
no,
did.
wait. We just talked about this. So our perception, bro.
Yep.
So we are in the now. What's that book that you just said? You called Bob Greene?
Robert Greene.
Robert Greene?
Yeah.
What was that book called?
The Mastery? Is that?
Is that the one that you're talking about? How we're in the now?
No, the Power Now, Eckhart Tolle.
Okay, Eckhart Tolle. For a good example by that is like, say you have an issue, instead of starting to think about what you have to do it, just look ahead, dude. Just look ahead and then know that okay, I gotta fix this and go.
Yeah.
It's that thinking,
Yeah.
man. It's that thinking that can fuck us up.
Well, and I mean, Alex Ramosi says the same thing. Like, think about it. Like, all right, you have only so much headspace, right? Like, you can only think about so much shit in a day. Well, let's say something pops up. I'll use the example. Like, you get an email. It's like you got to take care of something right away. You say, nah, like whatever. you'll think about that 18 more times before then you do it, and you just wasted all that mental space. You gave yourself all that anxiety for no reason. Instead, you could just take care of it right then. Don't have to think about it ever again.
Think about it, bro. You could have cured cancer the whole time.
Exactly. Like
and there's 18 thoughts that you just fucked up for the day. You could have cured cancer.
Exactly. Like you just be fucking shit up. But
yeah, I just suggest like whatever it is you got going on that you know you need to fix. Now, like for example, some things you can't just go and fix immediately. Like say you want to get to like a certain dollar amount.
Mm-hmm.
That's different.
Yeah.
But you can always keep on like knowing that's there.
Mm-hmm.
And keep on doing everything you can to get that dollar amount every day instead of thinking about it. Like if you think I got to go do this thing, and it's gonna make me this amount of money, but man, it's gonna it's gonna be ass, or I don't feel like doing it, or maybe you're doing something to make money that is like exposing who you are, which is not like bad, and you're like, what are they gonna think?
Mm-hmm.
How are they gonna react? But you just go and do it.
Yeah, that's all good points.
Fuck that shit. Who gives a shit?
Yes, sir. So how's training going right now? Everything going good?
Oh, great, man.
That's good.
Great. Getting the weight off healthy.
That's good.
Because this is my first time going down to 125.
Really?
So we're getting the weight off healthy, strategically.
June 14th. Yeah. What day is that?
It's I think
it's got to be a Saturday, Friday. Right? Oh, it is a Friday.
I think it is on Friday.
How many weeks out are we? About 4 weeks? 5 weeks out?
About 4 or 5 weeks out.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks out.
5 weeks.
Yeah.
Let me look. Are you looking at the poster?
Or no, I was looking at a calendar. Yeah.
Let me make sure it's on the day I just said.
I think it was June 14th when I saw it.
Yeah, I think it is 14th too, but I'm just double checking.
Cage Fury, dude, that's big.
Yep, June 14th. Yeah, man, it's nice. I'm happy. I knew this time was coming, bro. Yeah. I knew it. So yeah, it's nice. I'm honored to fight for them. I'm ready to go and show them who I am, so the UFC gets who I am.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately that's the goal.
Yes, brother.
And that kind of like, I got my ass whooped, so it was kind of like, damn, dude, I just got my ass beat in front of all these legends and on the LFA, like all this stuff. I made a comment the other day. I was like, damn, dude, I got my ass whooped so bad they ain't never gonna ask me to come back. Killer was like, dude, shut up. Like,
that's just exactly like how we talk about it, bro. Yeah, like you can get your ass beat in a fight. Fuck yeah, you can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it doesn't make you the fighter you are. It doesn't make you the person you are.
Yeah.
It's like, how are you going to take that fucking ass beating? I got my ass beat before. Like, I know how it is.
Yeah.
But that just makes me get up and go harder. And it's not always about going harder either. It's, being smart. Being like, okay, what do I need to work on? What's going to get me better?
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people, that's one thing that a lot of people don't think about. It's like, I lost, but if I would have won. Like, no, but you didn't, though. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't do that.
Mm-hmm. And it's okay to say things like that, but it's different when you don't go and fix it.
Yeah.
Like, if I did this different, or if I did this.
Yeah. Yeah, but you got anything else?
No, man, just June 14th, be ready for it. Fucking this show is fucking awesome, and I'm glad to be here. And this coffee is even fucking better.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Instagram, follow me on there. David.music with 2 eyes, because someone wanted to steal my name on Instagram.
I was going to say, I was like, no way his name is with 2 eyes.
I just wanted David Music. Like, how hard is that to ask for? But there was a million David Musics because they make music, or they do something with music, or they're foreign. Like, it's one of those foreign accounts, and it pisses me off. I'm about to pay a high dollar amount to anyone who has the name David Music, and I know who you are because I messaged you on Instagram, and you've not answered back. And you don't even know English. I know that, but just in case.
I don't know. I like the 2 eyes. I think it's sick.
Yeah, fuck it. We're going with it now.
Yeah, you have to now.
Damn, bro. Like,
what do you?
Give me my name.
The last thing I will say is, what do you think about? Dylan hasn't signed to fight that guy, has he?
Dumas. Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah.
No, bro. The dude Dumas or whatever, he keeps telling him to sign a contract on social media and everything, but there ain't no contract to sign, dude.
Yeah.
There's no contract. So
well, I mean, the UFC kind of has to approve that. It's kind of like...
Well, yeah, obviously. That's what I mean. He's just talking early. He's just...
All right, boys and girls and everyone else.
Dogs, cats.
Episode 28 in the books. The Honey Hayden Show. Peace.
Boom!